It's all about the altitude with orange, and De Salis is high up there. They're 1,050 meters above sea level. So they're at the top of the top in terms of orange. And I found out that only 1% of Australian wine regions are over 600 meters high. So De Salis is 1,050. So it's a very unique terroir that these wines are coming from.
I actually love this one. I like the power of this one. Like, this is what you call like bigger wine.
And so on to today's episode, and I said it at the start, we're talking about altitude, family, and minimalism, and that's all about De Salis' wines. We're tasting De Salis wines from Orange here in New South Wales, and I've heard of De Salis quite often. I've never had a chance to try it. Have you tried De Salis wines before?
I have, probably about 6 years ago now.
Yeah, at a visit to Orange or purchased here?
At a visit to Orange, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you to De Salis Wines for sponsoring this episode in terms of the wines that we're going to taste today. We've got 3 wines that we're going to taste. I thought it'd be a good thing to kind of just talk through the wind-up's fast fun facts about De Salis Wines. And so I want to share that today before we try the wines. First thing, altitude. It's all about the altitude with Orange, and De Salis is high up there. They're 1,050 meters above sea level. So they're at the top of the top in terms of orange. And I found out that only 1% of Australian wine regions are over 600 meters high, right? So De Salis is 1,050. So it's a very unique terroir that these wines are coming from.
So less than 1% then?
Less than. Yeah, thanks for working that out for me. Yeah, that's right. They
don't call me brains for nothing, right?
That's right. So altitude, cool climate is what this place is all about, which is where the Pinots and the Chardonnays, they love it there. So we'll get to taste that. Interesting fact number 2, it all started in a garage. So the owner and founder of De Salis Wines, who's Charlie Svensson, he opened it up in 1999 in the Northern Beaches garage. Imagine making wine out of garage.
It is like New South Wales, Northern Beaches, isn't it?
Correct.
Wow.
Imagine the wine app starting out of our tool shed or something like that. That's pretty cool. What's a tool shed? Is that what you said?
Out of the garage.
Yeah. You don't have one of those. Okay, obviously. But that's unique on its own. But Charlie, he's an interesting character. He's done a lot of different things already. So he's been a cab driver. He's also had a resume of being a master fisherman. He's a radio controller. He's a research scientist. He's even a lecturer at UNSW.
Wow.
Right? He's done it, and then he goes, you know what? I'm going to go into winemaking. Very interesting guy. So they started making Cab Franc as their first wines, and they sourced those grapes from a vineyard in Orange. So they sourced it from winemaker Murray Smith, a famous winemaker in Orange. And that's where the Orange connection came from. You want to say something?
No, I think so. He loved the grapes there from the Cab Franc, and then he started to then kind of build out his winery on the back of that one to the other varietals.
Yeah, that's right. And he actually spent time with Murray doing some vintages. So he spent a lot of time in Orange working it out.
Oh, very cool.
Number 3, it's definitely a family operation. So Charlie's the executive winemaker, but the whole family's in there. So his wife, Loretta, she basically does everything else. She's a vineyard boss. She's the working out on all of the numbers. She's managing the wine club. Their son, Mitch, he's now the head winemaker, so he's taken over those duties, and he started learning to make wine apparently at the age of 9. So I got to get my kids into it. And right now they're working out how to do Milo, but wine is definitely the next step. Their other son, Ben, he's also a part of the business. He's head of sales and marketing. And so he's gotten De Salis into some of the top name restaurants within Sydney and Australia. If we're thinking about Nomad, we're thinking about Benelong, those kind of premium restaurants. So it's quite well known. Number 4, let's talk about the winemaking and the magic. So they're very much about minimalistic nature, wild ferment, full malo, dry grown vine. So really expressing the site. No filtering, no fluff. It's really all about what you get with minimal touch on the actual wines itself. The last one, the 5th fun fact, De Salis. Do you know where that name came from?
No. It sounds Italian, is it? No.
Yeah, it does sound Italian. And you're absolutely right. So their great-great-grandfather, Count Leopold Fabius Fane De Salis.
Can you say that again?
Leopold Count Leopold Fabius Fane de Salis. There we
rolls
go.
off the tongue.
Don't ask me one more time. He was an Englishman who was actually born in Florence, and then he moved over to Australia in the 1800s around the Canberra area. And that's where the de Salis name comes from. So a few fast fun facts. And now we've got the wines. So we've got 3 wines in front of us. We've got a Chardonnay and we've got the Estate Pinot Noir, as well as the Lofty Pinot Noir. And we might start off with the Chardonnay here. If we could just show this to the screen.
Have you heard of de Salis before?
I had. So I've heard of it. I never had opportunity to taste it. So have a go of the Chardonnay and I'll say a bit about it. What's interesting about Charlie is he met Will Rickard Bell. Do you remember from Rickard Wines, right? And we loved his Chardonnay. We met Will at the Real Review event, one of their events there. And they're actually neighbors. So de Salis' winery is quite close to the Rickard winery. They met in 2001, and so it kind of gives you a sense of what these wines and the quality of the Chardonnay from that area can come from. Now, you've had a taste. What are you picking up?
First thing that hits me, it has good oak with it as well. But more of a, even though it's called climate, I feel it's more of a richer style of Chardonnay that's kind of coming through. The purity of fruit really comes through as well. This one, in terms of the year, 2022, I could see this one with a bit more time as well for better integration between the oak and the fruit coming through as well.
Yep.
So I can see the elements of what is now is a good wine to become a great wine in the future. And almost a bit of a shame that I kind of drink this now without kind of leaving it for a bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. The purity of fruit really stands out in regards to this. When you taste it, you can really kind of get that peachy kind of flavor that's coming through. I do get the hint of oak at the start, touch bit of flintiness on it as well. But I do agree. I think time needs to bring it together.
Like the acids there, it has this kind of like richness to it as well in terms of texture. I just looking at the alcohol as well, whether that's also contributing. There's only 12.7%.
Wow.
So again, elements of a great wine for what it is now, currently a good wine. So cracking stuff.
Well, they do say that it can be cellared for up to 8 to 10 years. And so I might read a bit about this wine. So handpicked in small parcels over 2 weeks. Each bin was whole bunch pressed and the pressings was free juice, cellared in 24 hours for fermentation with fine pulp in 40% new and older French barrique. So that's the oak that you're referencing. Chardonnay showing some peaches, lemon curd tart, struck match, vanilla cream eaten mess, and then on the palate, yellow nectarine, oatmeal chalky palate, and a hint of seawater.
Yeah, slight hint of seawater, but there's kind of eaten mess, kind of creaminess, the lemon tart, it brings the acidity, again, kind of to the point around that kind of richness around the wine at the moment. Yeah.
I would be interested to see this in a couple of years' time. So you can pick that up retail for $70 or the club price is $56. So that's the Shardy. Let's move on to the Pinot. We've got 2 Pinots here. We've got the Estate Pinot first. So this is the 2022 Pinot. I'll hold it up to the screen here. And this is a classic example of a Pinot from orange. So it's a blend, actually. It's got multiple different clones that are blended together. And it's coming off their Lofty and Forest Edge vineyards. The Pinot Noir was matured for 12 months in 18% new French oak. And all of the red wines are unfined and unfiltered. I won't read the tasting notes. Get your thoughts on it. What are you thinking?
Lots of acidity kind of supporting it. I do get a bit of kind of bunch work onto it as well. That kind of like stemmy earthiness, kind of more of a gutsy type of Pinot, even though this isn't the Lofty, the Estate Pinot. Kind of more darker cherries than the kind of red cherry spectrum. Hint of savouriness to it as well.
Yeah.
With a back end of maybe it's that kind of bunch work as well. Slight hint of kind of bitterness that kind of comes through as well in the back palate.
Definitely that savoury hit that I can get, and
it's almost smoke and char. That kind of
you can get that on the nose as well. Yeah,
they're kind of like like burnt meats type of thing, and the kind of back palate. that kind of slight char bitterness at the back.
Have you had much orange Pinot?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. But all of that I completely agree with. But what was interesting, because I was looking at the notes and this really stood out when I smelt it. What it was saying is that it's got a Turkish delight scent. And when I read that, I was like, yeah, I can absolutely get that on the nose. So it's Turkish delight, it's blood orange, it's black licorice.
On the darker spectrum, yeah.
On the darker spectrum. It's absolutely savory, sour cherry, white strawberries, cocoa, silky fine tannins, and a hint of tomato leaf.
Yeah, which is that tomato leaf is that kind of more kind of that greenness, char, bitterness, I think, kind of on the back palate. But also, I think with a slight decant on this one, we'll kind of soften it a bit more and then come together. So open this one, but with a bit more time.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a bit better. Yeah, like, I think it's good to drink now, but just
we just opened it. We just opened it right now on the episode here. So you're absolutely right. But a strong characteristic of that char, which is good. The next one that we have. So let's move on. This is the 2022 Lofty Pinot Noir from the Salis. This is the Lofty Pinot Noir. Let me just read a few of the notes of there. So this is a reflection of the earthier end of the broad spectrum. That's the Pinot. So riper, more structured selection of different clones. The use of 18% whole bunch, 25% new French oak brings a great backbone of structure to this deep ruby Pinot. Now you've had a taste. What are you picking
initial
up?
Thoughts, a lot more power than the previous Pinot. The tannins still soft and supple, but a bit bigger as well. The concentration of fruit really kind of takes you back, going, woof, it's big. This is a wine that can definitely age, but also, I don't know, it's so powerful that having by itself is also a bit overwhelming. I feel like I need some duck, I need some protein to kind of go with it at the moment.
What's the percentage of alcohol in it? It's 13.4%.
So I don't think it's the alcohol. I think it's the quality of the fruit on this one. I think the quality of the fruit, again, you need a bit more of the oak kind of balance it out and soften the wine a bit more. But I actually love this one. I like the power of this one. Like, this is what you call like kind of a bigger wine. The other one's good, but this is, has a bit more broader shoulders, is a bit bigger. Either keep it a bit longer or have some protein.
It's definitely more powerful and intense in terms of flavor, but I think it's more integrated in comparison to the other one. And that characteristic of that smokiness, that charriness that was a bit overpowering on the last one isn't present here or as strong here. It's kind of a bit more balanced throughout it. So in terms of the two, definitely prefer the Lofty. Let me read the notes in terms of tasting. So a nose of freshly turned soil, cup mushrooms are a complementary difference to a palate that shows more fruit than the aroma would imply. Candied raspberry, ripe strawberries up front, leading to a long, fine, structured mid-palate of stalk, tannins, and a hint of white pepper, and spice. So this is cellaring 8 to 12 years. Its regular retail is $75, club price $60.
I think the thing that surprises me is that, when I think of sometimes cool climate, I feel like it's kind of more kind of lighter style wines. But across the Chardonnay, the Pinot Noir, the Lofty Pinot Noir as well, it's what comes through in all of those, that kind of concentration and power of the fruit. Maybe it's got more hang time because it is cool climate and can get more concentration of fruit that comes through the wine. And that's what I kind of get with this one. Like, I'm kind of a bit kind of shocked in the sense that they are so big. There is so much power to these wines that I didn't expect at 1,000. Was it 100 meters?
1,050 meters elevation,
I know. That's, spectacular.
Yeah, I agree. That, and the fruit really shines out throughout it. And so that intensity isn't what's expected. But maybe that's a representation of the wines from the area within Orange, and we absolutely need to try more. So that's the Salis Wines. Let us know in the comments below if you've tried the Salis Wines, which one do you like and prefer? Drop them in the notes. That's us here at The Wind Up. As we like to say here, drink more, try more, learn more.